Nowadays, you can't even operate a business and be profitable without using technology or the internet. In this video, I'm going to show you how using one tool to manage your credentials better will affect your entire company to make it more profitable and to make the lives of yourself, your employees, your customers, and your vendors easier and safer. Most people would agree that having one username or password is not a big deal, right? But the reality is that employees, they have an average of 191 passwords, which is just crazy. And if you think about your customers, they also have to have tons of passwords just for every business that they use. And what's worse is that passwords are just one of many different types of credentials, because when your business is in the research and validation stage, when you're starting a business, you deal with credentials like your name and EIN and licenses. When you procure vendors and you hire employees, you deal with credentials. When you advertise pixels and cookies, those are credentials. When you convert customers and you communicate, you constantly exchange credentials. And then when you create credentials themselves to give to consumers and employees, you have to manage those credentials. And then you have to secure all the credentials that your entire business uses and deal with the legal aspects and the compliance issues associated with those. All of these credentials have huge impact on your entire business and your every day-to-day operations. Managing all those credentials is a confusing process, and it's just slow and expensive. And when stuff happens like your expenses are too high, your sales funnel isn't working as efficiently as you thought, or maybe you were hacked, what do? You panic. You thought, oh, it never happened to me, and then you try to hire someone to fix it, or maybe you fix it yourself, or you just deal with it later. But we all know that after a few weeks or months, you just have more problems. You hire more people to help you. You keep having more and more credentials, and the problem keeps getting worse and worse. So you have a big decision to make. Do you just keep hiring people to manage every little different aspect of your credentials? Or do you just ignore the fact that you have a problem? Obviously, the more people and vendors you hire, the more complex everything is, the more risk that your company is faced against, and the less efficient. And most importantly is your business loses on profit. And we all know that if you ignore the problem, your competitors are certainly going to win, you're going to fail, and maybe even end up in bankruptcy. So you might think, well, it is what it is, or you blame someone else, or you just eventually will think, how do I increase my profits? Or are we not smart enough? What are we doing here? The problem is not you. It's not your business. It's not any one business, because we need a universally accepted way to manage, verify, and exchange credentials between consumers, businesses, governments, everyone. And right now, whenever every solution that you use as a business to manage your credentials, it only works for you and your consumers, or maybe you and the government, or you and another business. What we need is a simple and systematic way to manage, verify, and exchange credentials that's extremely secure, so that everyone can use, so that everyone can benefit. And that's what Grape ID is. To consumers, they view it as an electronic ID, and if you haven't seen that video, you gotta go watch that right after this. And then to businesses, it's just a credential management tool, or you could think of it like an authentication service or something similar to that. Grape ID is kind of like Amazon's one-click checkout and social sign-ons combined, but way better, and it's for the entire internet. With Grape ID, we provide a one-click registration and login. Essentially, you just install these buttons on your website, and then it'll increase your opt-ins, because consumers no longer have forms that they have to fill out. They'll convert faster, and it'll increase the security with our built-in Grape ID authentication, and it'll reduce the labor costs, because just imagine your company not having to use passwords at all, ever again. That's what Grape ID provides, is you will no longer have to reset passwords, which frees up your time for your staff. Another thing is we provide a one-click checkout, and We put these buttons onto your website to make it easier for your customers to check out. It increases your sales conversions. Again, it makes things more secure, and there are many other benefits. This is, of course, very simplified. Let's take Salad and Go for an example. They have 2 lanes, a drive-through and a mobile pickup. If they use Grape ID and offer that to their customers, then they'll have a lot more people using mobile pickup, and therefore they'll make more profits because they have faster throughput. And also, Acme Tools is another example. If they partnered with Grape ID, then they would increase their conversions because it's so much easier for consumers to check out on their website. I'm Rob Anderson, the CEO of Grape ID. Now I could try to establish credibility with you and talk to you about our existing customers, our patents, our research, and what we're doing with the United States government, but in the end, I know you just want proof. You want case studies to prove to you exactly what you get. But as with any new product, any new technology that comes out, we've got to actually create those. If you're an innovative company, if you're an early adopter and you make decisions fast, then we want to make you an offer you can't refuse. What you get with Grape ID is loyalty from your customers and your employees. I'm 100% positive that your customers and employees will absolutely love how much easier their lives will be interacting with your business when they're able to do that through Grape ID. You'll get 10 times the security and privacy, not just for your business, but also for your employees and with your vendors, your entire business ecosystem. And of course, we will increase your profits, but we don't know if it's 5% or 50%. And that's why we need your help. And for the first 500 businesses that are willing to be early adopters, we just want to make it worth it for you. And if you're willing to be a case study, then we'll give you a white glove experience by me personally to help your business as much as possible. We'll give you media exposure, and then we'll of course give you highly discounted rates. So the way it works is you just register your business. It's $150, and that includes entity verification, a little mini audit, and we give you the quote for what your annual fee will be. As an example, for sole proprietors, your yearly fee is included in that $150. You'll also get a Grape Score assigned to you, and that is derived from the entity verification and from the personal Grape Score of the manager owners who created this entity. And the Grape Score just simply proves your business identity to your customers or your employees or vendors. And in this example, if someone's paying Chevron online and they scan a QR code, then it just pops up and says, hey, you can be 87% sure that this is actually Chevron. Anything above 80 is a really good score. So we make it easy to integrate with Grape ID. You just use our mobile app, a browser plugin, or our API working directly with your programmers. You can use your existing merchant processor, and of course we provide all the third-party certification. And after lots of testing and more testing, then we will launch all 500 businesses. We will do press releases. We will notify our waitlist of consumers. We ask that every participating business notify your customers so that they know that they can now access your services through Grape ID and make their lives easier. After that, then the idea is that we'll be adding more features that make your processes faster, safer, and easier. So for example, your communications, how you communicate internally within your company with your customers and your vendors, Grape ID will make it so that all of those interactions are faster, safer, and easier. Same with your sales and marketing processes. Faster, easier, and safer. And ultimately, all of this will make your business more profitable. And you'll have loyal customers and employees, and you will have higher security and privacy. So if you want to prove that you're an innovative company, if you want to be more profitable and just be loved by your customers and your employees, then in just a few minutes, if you register now, then in just a few minutes, you can get the process rolling. We also provide a guarantee up to $1 million or more, 10 or 100 million, depending on the size of your company, to protect you against scams, identity theft, data breaches. because we realize that you also need the financial reassurance, and we're willing to provide that. So, I realize that this may not be for everyone, but just know that if unfortunately you do not act now, then your competitors will gain the advantage by being part of the first 500 Grape ID founding 500. And in the meantime, you'll of course be in the same situation where you're not making as much profit, wasting time and money with unhappy customers, because you literally have no other way to solve the problems that we are solving. So, be innovative, be profitable, be loved. Click the link below, and I look forward to working with you.